Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to calculate the next leap year from a given date. So, for example, if you give it a date in 2003, it'll return 2004. I can always tell when a leap year is coming up because I get tons of emails and questions about leap years. All right, it's currently 2023, and 2024 is a leap year. And today's email comes from Parker in Redondo Beach, California, one of my Platinum members. Parker said, "Thanks for the tutorial on determining leap years in Access. Your use of the IsDate function to create a query for leap years was really helpful. I'm curious, could we also use this method to calculate and display the next leap year from a given date? For instance, if I enter a date like June 1st, 2021, can Access calculate and show me the next leap year would be 2024? Thanks in advance." Yes, of course, there are a couple of different ways you can do this. Let's talk about it. But first, if you have not yet watched my leap year video, go watch this. In this video, I will show you how to use a simple query to determine if a current date is in a leap year. Okay? There's the link right there, or you can scan the little QR code. Go watch that and then come on back. All right, let's take a quick second and review the rules for leap years. To be a leap year, a year has to be divisible by 4, but not divisible by 100. So century years usually aren't leap years, unless that year is also divisible by 400. So for example, 2024 is a leap year because it's divisible by 4. 1900 was not a leap year because it's divisible by 100, but 2000 was a leap year because that's divisible by 400. And why is this? Well, because a year is 365.256 sidereal days. That's trips around the sun. And because that little extra fraction of a day, they added these extra leap stuffs to the calendar. We actually insert leap seconds once in a while too, because the Earth's rotation isn't perfect. But that's an astronomy lesson. This is an Access lesson. So for all intents and purposes, these are the rules you have to remember. Okay. Now, I've got this marked as a developer lesson because we're going to write a function in VBA to calculate the leap year. It's not that hard. Once you know the rules, it's actually relatively simple to write. Can you do it without VBA? Yes, it's possible. You can mathematically calculate leap years, but the function is insane. Here it is. I'll share it with you. That's a valid function right there to calculate the next leap year in a query field. No, I don't want to write that. I don't even want to read that. Does it work? Yeah, it works. I tested it. But no, I'm going to show you how to properly calculate it using VBA in a way that your brain can actually wrap itself around. All right, now since this is a developer lesson, if you haven't done any VBA programming before, go watch this. It'll teach you everything you need to know in about 20 minutes to get started programming in VBA. It's easy. Also, go watch this video on creating a custom function. We're going to write our own function to calculate the next leap year. Also, go watch my odd or even video. This uses the mod operator to determine if a number is evenly divisible by another number. Also, we're going to use a do loop, so go watch this video on do loops. You can use any kind of loops. You can use a while loop. You can use a do loop. You can use a for next loop if you really want to, but I'm going to show you a custom special instance of a do loop. All right, so here I am in my Tech Help free template. This is a free database. You can download a copy off my website. Let's start by writing the function. So let's come down here to our global module. And in here, I'm going to create my own function. Let's make it a public function, and let's call it next leap year. Now I'm going to take in a year and then respond with the next year after this year that is a leap year. And you could very easily write it so it takes in an actual date, or you can do whatever you want. So we're going to go my year as along, and we're going to return along. Okay? Now we're going to use a do loop. We're going to go do up here to start the loop, and then loop on the end. Now in my previous videos where we talked about loops, we did a do until loop and a do while loop. This is a special case of a do loop where we don't have either an until or a while. So it's effectively an endless loop. And yes, this is valid code. It's going to rely on you exiting the loop with an exit do inside of it. Okay? And yes, this is rare. I really didn't cover this in my looping videos, and I just thought about it today because I almost never use this. Usually I'll use a while loop. I'll say something like while 1 equals 1, and then my while end at the bottom. And then inside that loop, I'll do an exit while. But I figured this is a chance to show you guys something new, right? New Legos to play with. All right, so we're going to say my year equals my year plus 1. Now, if you want to have the current year that is sent into the function able to be a valid response, then put this at the bottom of the loop. Don't add the year until the end of the loop. But I want to say that, okay, if I send it 2024, I want the next valid answer to be 2028. Okay, so it's all a matter of where you put the incrementer. Okay, next we're going to say, all right, what's the first rule? If my year mod 4 equals 0, then we got a year that's divisible by 4, and if. Okay, now inside of that, we have to check to see if it's divisible by 100. So if my year mod 100 equals 0, then we got to check for divisible by 400. So if my year mod 400 equals 0, now at this point, whoops, what did I do? My year mod 400 equals 0. Then, right? At this point, we have a valid leap year because it's divisible by 400, like 2000. So here we can exit do. It's going to keep the year we got, right? End if here. Now, if it's not divisible by 100, else, then we have another valid one, right? Exit do. And then we can end if here, and then end if there. And this is a perfect example of why you can see indentation is important for you, right? You don't need this indentation for access, for VBA. It doesn't care. This is so you can more easily read this, right? So if we got a year, mod 4, divisible by 4, this whole thing runs. If it's not divisible by 4, it just immediately increments to the next year, right? 98, 99, and so on. All right, now inside of here, we have a year that is divisible by 4. So first check, is it divisible by 100? No, then exit out. We're good, right? That means you're divisible by 4. You're not divisible by 100. You're good. 1996, for example. But if it is divisible by 400, check to see if it's divisible by, by 100. Check to see if it's divisible by 400. And I'm saying divisible too fast. It's driving me nuts, right? Then check to see if it's divisible by 400. If so, it's still valid. Exit out. And then down here, all we have to say is return the value for my function. So next leap year equals my year. And that's it. There you go. All right, let's throw in a debug compile. Make sure everything compiles. Save it. Close it. Let's go test it with a query. So create query design. And let's bring in our customer table. We'll do the same thing we did in the last video. We'll use the customer sense, which is a bunch of date fields. And I'm going to first say, give me the year of that. Well, let's get the date of it. Let's get the year. Year. So Y is going to be the year of customer sense. Okay, so if I run it now, I get a bunch of years. There's the year from that guy there. Okay, because that's what we need to send into. You can just do it in one call if you want to. You could say, give me the next leap year of whatever, but this just makes it easier. Okay, so next leap year, colon. Let me zoom in so you can see it better. And my zoom window's big. That's smaller. There we go. Sometimes when I'm working on personal stuff, I make that zoom window huge. So next leap year, NLY, that's my query field, is going to be next leap year of Y. If you want to skip a step, you can go year of customer sense, but I'm not going to do that. I already made Y. I like to use aliasing because it keeps your function calls short, especially when you got the same function you're using a million times. Okay, ready, go. Check our results. Everything looks good, looks good, looks good. All right, here's a 1995 that turns into 96. Let's put in something from this year. Let's go 2023. Actually, let's put today's date in there. Boom. Okay, good. 2024 comes up. Let's put some trick ones in here. So 1999, 11. It does give 2000. That's good. How about 1899, 11? It does not give 1900 because 1900 is divisible by 100, but not divisible by 400. And so there you go. And as you can see, this is a lot easier for you to understand and to write and to read and to comprehend than this was. This does the same thing. It's just, yeah, it's using if functions and no, it's just no. Now, this does calculate the year mathematically instead of relying on an iterative loop. Okay, this is a loop, and if you only got a handful of records, you're not going to be able to tell the difference with a modern computer. But if you got 10,000, 100,000 records that you got to go through and calculate the next leap year for all of them, this might run slow, especially over a network. So in that case, you might want to use this because it's faster. Or stick around, check out the extended cut for the members where I will show you how to calculate it mathematically in VBA, which is a whole lot easier to read and comprehend. All right, we'll do the same thing that this crazy function does, but we'll write it in VBA so you can actually understand what it means. I mean, yeah, I can understand this too because I've been doing this for so long, but it's not pleasant to look at. But we'll do this in the extended cut. It's a good programming exercise too. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut videos, and there's tons of them, folks. There's lots of them. You get lots and lots and lots of stuff for your membership. And of course, gold members can download these databases, and you have access to the code vault where all this cool VBA resides. Every function that I make that's cool, I put it in the code vault, so you can just browse through them and pick what you want. But there you go. That's going to be your tech help video for today. I hope you learned something. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have below. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. Click the bell icon and select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Want to learn more? Click the Show More link below the video to find additional resources and links. YouTube does a pretty good job of hiding it. It's right down there. See this part of the description here, right? The name, the video's up here. There's a little Show More down there, right down the bottom. It's kind of hard to find. But once you click on that, you'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. And YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted like they used to do. But if you'd like to get an email every time I post a new video, click on the link to join my mailing list. And you can pick how frequently to get emails from me, either as they happen, daily, weekly, or monthly. Now, if you'd like to become a paid member of my channel and receive all kinds of awesome perks, click on the Join button. You'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks, including my extended cut videos, access to my code vault, lots of VBA source code in there, template downloads, and lots more. I'll talk more about these perks at the end of the video. Even if you don't want to commit to becoming a paid member and you'd like to help support my work, please feel free to click on the tip jar link. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got some puppies to feed. But don't worry, no matter what, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you really want to learn Access and you haven't tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, and more. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link down below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? The whole thing, free, 4 hours. Go watch it. And okay, a lot of you have told me that you don't have time to sit through a 4-hour course. So I do now have a quicker Microsoft Access for Beginners video that covers all the basics faster in about 30 minutes. And no, I didn't just put the video on fast forward. But I'll put a link to this down below as well. Now, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. That's it, $1. And that's another whole 90-minute course. Level 2 is also free for paid members of any level, including supporters. So if you're a member, go watch level 2. It's free. Okay, want to get your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page and send me your question there. Members get priority, of course. While I do try to read and respond to all of the comments posted below in the comments section, I only have time to go through them briefly a couple of times a month, and sometimes I get thousands of them. So send me your question here on the tech help page, and you'll have a better chance of getting it answered. And while you're on my website, be sure to stop by my Access forum, We've got lots of lively conversations about Microsoft Access and other topics. I have a fantastic group of moderators who help me answer questions. Shout out to Alex, Kevin, Scott, Adam, John, Dan, Juan, and everybody else who helps out on the site. I appreciate everything you do. I couldn't do it without you. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too, but I don't like Facebook. Don't get me started. Now, let's talk more about those member perks if you do decide to join as a paid member. There are different levels: silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. Silver members and up get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, one free beginner class every month, and some other perks. Gold members get all the previous perks, plus access to download the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus access to my code vault where I keep tons of different functions that I use, the code that I build in most of the videos. You'll also get higher priority if you do submit any tech help questions. Now, answers are never guaranteed, but you do go higher in the list for me to read them. And if I like your question, you got a good chance of it being answered. You'll also get one free expert level class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks plus even higher priority for tech help questions. You get access to all of my full beginner level courses for every subject. And I cover lots of different subjects like Word, Excel, VBA, ASP, lots of different stuff, not just Access. These are the full-length courses found on my website. You get all the beginner ones. In addition, once you finish the expert classes, you get one free developer class per month. So lots of training. And finally, you can also become a Diamond sponsor. You'll have your name or your company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown on each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you again soon.